Hello my beautiful friends, it's Amanda here, and today I'm talking about two new blushes. I don't know exactly how close together the release dates for these products were, but they both jumped into my cart at the same time from the news section on Ulta. So my guess is these released pretty close together time-wise. They seem like very similar products. So we're gonna do some comparisons as far as packaging, price, shades, application, wear, all of that good stuff. I have so many thoughts because I've been wearing both of these today. There are some definite similarities, some definite differences, and I have a very clear preference for one over the other. First, let's start with the basics. This is the Tarte blush tape. It's priced at $35 US. And it comes in 3 shades. This is the e.l.f. Halo Glow Beauty Wand. It's $9 US, and the blush comes in 4 shades. There are also some highlighters and contour colors as well. Due to the large difference in price and shade selection, I only purchased one of the Tarte blush tapes. I decided to get 3 of the blush shades from the Halo Glow, and I also got 2 of the highlighter shades. So while you're not going to see all of the Halo Glow shades demoed in this video, I will swatch all of them for you just so you can see them all together and see what the difference looks like when they're applied side by side on my arm. There is a little bit of a product amount difference. Definitely not proportionate to the price difference, but the e.l.f. Halo Glow, that's $9 for 10 milliliters of product, and the Tarte blush tape is $35 for 12 milliliters of product. There are also some packaging differences, so I'm going to get into that. We're going to take a close-up look at the packaging here, and I'm also going to show you an application demo. I'm going to give you all my thoughts along the way because, like I said, I have many thoughts. I have many thoughts about these. I do think they are similar, but I don't think they're dupes, so stay tuned to see why. First, let's compare the outer packaging. They both come in a very slim cardboard box as the outer packaging, but you can see the e.l.f. product has a little window where you can see the actual tube, the actual product inside, and the Tarte one doesn't. The shape is very similar, but we get a nice fancy extra little lid on the Tarte product, and the packaging looks really different on the inside, more so than you would expect because they both have little spongy applicator tips. But when you look closely, you'll start to see where the main difference, and really my only complaint with the e.l.f. packaging, is the difference here, because the Tarte has this little thing around the top. You see where it says on and off here, you twist to open and close. So when it's closed, you can't squeeze any product out. And as you can see, the e.l.f. doesn't have that. So there's all kinds of stuff inside the lid there. And that has actually gotten progressively worse. I've been using this e.l.f. Halo Glow since I filmed this video a couple days ago, and it has gotten progressively messier and messier. I do think that this little click open and close, obviously it's a more expensive feature, and I do think that contributes to the massive price difference, but I think this is absolutely something that the Tarte blush tape nails, is this little safety valve thing on the packaging. Very satisfying shot of the blush initially dispensing through that sponge. And we're going to be comparing the shade Peach in the Tarte blush tape to the e.l.f. Halo Glow Beauty Wand in the shade Candlelit. These are both that soft, warm, peachy pink with a little gold shimmer. Very similar to the NARS Orgasm. And here you can see, I even showed you, this doesn't twist. This top here, see how there's a little gap? I think that the lid pushes that closed, so there is sort of a built-in safety. I don't know that for sure, but I'm just guessing. But it still gets all of the product all over inside the lid there. So while it does stop the blush from getting squeezed out more while it's closed, you still get just tons of excess blush all over the inside of the cap. Now, how about we actually apply these to the face so that we can really see them in action? And there is a noticeable difference for me. I'm going to try my best to portray that here because I think it's more noticeable in person since it's a textural thing. I'm doing 3 little dots of the Tarte on one side, 3 little dots of the e.l.f. product on the other, and then I'm just blending in with my fingertips. I think that that's the way that I typically will apply this product, and it's also very easy to just wipe off my hand on a makeup wipe and make sure that we get the exact same type of application instead of using 2 different brushes or something like that. And I could immediately feel a difference. The Tarte product feels a lot more oily and it just felt a little bit uneven on my cheek. So I tried to use a little stippling brush to sort of smooth it out. And I don't know if you can tell if it's picking up on camera, but it's a little bit patchy and it almost felt like it was disrupting my makeup underneath because of that slick, oily type of texture. While the e.l.f. product immediately felt a little bit thicker, a little bit more creamy versus oily. And they're both liquids at the end of the day. They both dispense out of that sponge. But the e.l.f. Halo Glow feels just a little bit thicker, a little bit beefier. So it definitely stays in place better. And I felt like it was just easier to get a solid application on the face. Now, I did feel that my blush wasn't blushing enough, so I'm adding a little bit of this shade Rosé You Slay. I'm adding it on both sides because I really just want to experiment and see, can these shades layer? Can they blend? What do they look like mixed together? How do they react? This isn't really a wear test or anything, but here you can see it's quite glowy, but it looks solid. And then on this side, I felt like it's not showing up as much on camera, but it just felt a little patchy. Now I'm going to take a ColourPop Super Shock and I'm going to layer this on top because I want to tone down the shine a little bit. It's very, very, very shiny, very metallic cheeks. And while I do like to be casually sweaty, I was formally sweaty at this point. So I wanted to put a little powder blush on top. Still plenty of shine showing through, but I do think that this is more my desired effect. Now, this perfectly demonstrates what I'm talking about, the difference in texture. You can see the Halo Glow is a lot more opaque and just more even. These are both just swiped on with that sponge tip applicator. And then the Tarte blush tape is just so much more patchy looking, and it is due to that very oily base, I guess, which does contribute to shine. Definitely looks nice and hydrated, but it just doesn't blend nicely for me. Here are the rest of the shades of the Halo Glow that I picked up, just so that you can see. Champagne Campaign and Rose Quartz are both highlighters, and then the other 3 are blushes. I didn't get any of the contour shades just simply because I don't really see myself using a product like that, so I didn't want to sink more cash into this video just for the sake of swatching it when I know I'm not going to use it and it's just going to collect dust in a drawer someday. But I do see myself using these blush and highlighter shades, and I think that they're actually all super gorgeous, and I can see myself getting tons of use out of all 5 of these shades that I ended up picking up. After wearing these for most of the day today, my thoughts have not changed since applying them. I much prefer the e.l.f. Halo Glow. Now, these are very, very shiny. Like you saw in the demo, I did have to tone the glow down a little bit with a satin blush on top. I like a casually sweaty cheek, and I was formally sweaty. It was a little bit too much for me. I can't imagine using the contour, blush, and highlighter all together. That would be see you from space, like the 2016 glazed donut type of glow, which, you know, I'm not mad at, but it's not my personal preference for my daily wear. So I think that a lot of people may be uncomfortable with that amount of shine, especially because it does tend to emphasize if you have any texture, scarring, breakouts, fine lines, things like that. I don't care too much about that personally, but I know that a lot of people really do not prefer to be very, very glowy on their face like that. I like that this was very easy to layer, and it was also easy to tone down using a powder blush. I imagine that you could do the same thing without changing the color with just a setting powder, like a little translucent powder. The main difference for me wasn't just the pigmentation. I do think the Halo Glow showed up a lot better than the blush tape, despite the fact that they're practically the same color. For me, it was really the texture. This one feels a lot more oily, and I could feel it pulling up my concealer and tinted moisturizer as soon as I applied it. As soon as I started blending it in, it just felt like it was spreading and splotchy, and it didn't really want to stay in place. Whereas the Halo Glow product, I had more control over where the product went, how it blended, and it just felt more consistent and less disruptive of the makeup underneath. So basically, I prefer the e.l.f. Halo Glow. There's more color options, it's a better price, the pigmentation's better, the texture's better. The only thing that I like is the twist and lock lid option on the blush tape packaging, but that's definitely nowhere near enough to tip the scales as far as my favor goes. I would say these are similar, but not dupes, because the e.l.f. formula is so much better. Not even for the price, just even if these were the same price, this one would be better, but also it's less expensive. Really, it's no contest for me. I rarely return products, but I do feel like this was a massive waste of $35. And the fact that you could basically almost get 4 of these for the price of 1 of these is kind of upsetting. I didn't put in a full day wear test, you know, exhausting this. I've only been wearing it for a few hours, but I pretty much immediately formulated my opinion as soon as I started blending this onto my face, and I could feel the difference in the reaction with my makeup underneath. I don't think that doing a full day wear test would change anything. Maybe you feel differently, but for me, I'm pretty solid on this opinion. I'm gonna actually return this, and I very, very rarely do that. This is gonna break the streak. Now's the time when I want to hear what you think about these products. Have you tried them? Do you have a completely different experience? I always love to hear what you think about things too, so make sure you leave all your thoughts down in the comments below. We don't always have to agree on things. I love to hear different perspectives, different skin types, different styles. I always love to hear how things are working for you as well. So keep all the comments coming. Thank you so, so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. So math isn't my strong suit. I had so much hope. I love, love, love the Tarte Man Eater Blush and Glow. The ones with like the big wand. I use those all the time. I love those. And I really thought that this was going to give me that same excitement, that same energy, and it didn't. It did not. Sadly. What blush is she wearing? Because not accurate. That's what the Blush and Glow looks like. That's what the Man Eater one looks like, not this. Get that one. I like Tarte blushes. I think they do blush really well, but this is just a miss. I would say sorry, but they're never gonna see this, and they probably don't care what I think anyway, so. Swing and a miss. This little gold tone, little baby smoky eye is really doing it for me. I've worn this look so much. It's from the Off Melrose palette. I'm actually gonna film a video talking about my favorite ColourPop palettes, past and present. Hint. Nailed it. All right, I'm gonna go get started on that ColourPop video. I'm gonna film some swatches for these e.l.f. things, and then I'm gonna do some editing, and then I'm gonna do some grocery shopping, and then I'm going to probably clean my face after that. Okay, thanks for watching. I'm glad you're here. And you know what? You're a sweet little treasure, and I love your face, and I'll see you real soon. Okay, bye.